to let the world just tell us so. Light ourselves up when we're out of luck. All of the love in me was an illusion until you made my world the new star.
You're not a beer drinker, but you do like the honey lager.
I do.
One that you said, I'm not a beer drinker, but I tried it. You know what? Pretty good.
It's not bad.
That's cool. You're usually a bourbon guy?
Bourbon all day.
Yeah. That's your thing. That's your drink of choice. When was the first time you stumbled into a musk? Was it the Little Shark up the road?
No, we were up here visiting friends, and we went to their original store in Swanson.
Before you moved out here?
Before we moved out here.
Oh, cool.
So actually not their original store, but their big store on Swanson. So we went in, it was fun.
That's one that's now a tropical smoothie or whatever?
No, that's the one that's now the Foundry.
Oh, I didn't know it was over there.
That was
the original?
That was their big baby.
Oh, I didn't know that. So that makes more sense why he had that building for a while, he said, and he was going to make it into Foundry, and then
He did, and then
he
COVID hit.
Yeah, and sold it or whatever. I remember he had all the glasses here and everything, and he was looking at doing stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, bad timing.
His vision was great. His ability to create something would have been awesome, but we just didn't have the resources at the time.
Yeah. So. Hospitality industry has been having kind of a rough go in Havasu for a while now. I think not even just here. I think it's in the industry in general. People,
100%.
People are just trying to find other avenues of making that money, and they're not as plentiful.
Everyone's dream is to own a bar and a restaurant, right?
Why is that?
Yeah,
oh, that was your dream, right?
Yeah. Growing up, my father's company is pest control. So, very large pest control company. So I was exposed to some of the finest restaurants in New York City. Food was important in my family. It helped that we owned that company, and I got exposure to it. But as I grew up, I grew to hate my mom's cooking. You know, my mom would turn over in her grave. She'd make these dinners, and we'd sit at the kitchen table waiting for Dad to come home, and I always knew that my dad was going to have a problem with whatever it might have been. So I'd sit there and tolerate it, and then my dad would sit down, and he'd be like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, Dad, but Mom made it. It's really good." And he goes, "Who wants to go to Don's?" And I'm like, "I do." And Don's was his local burger joint. It was huge. It was more than a burger, but they made the best burgers in the world. And he's like, "Who wants to go to Don's?" I'm like, "I do." I keep my mouth shut, so my mom would get mad. She's like, Anyway, so I started to experiment with food. I got to experience restaurants. I got to see things that nobody else got to see. And I just loved it. You know, I love my mom, but she wasn't the best cook in the world, and so I would experiment. Cooking became my passion, and food and hospitality was going to be my future.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it with bugs and wasn't a bug guy.
Right.
So I moved, lived in Palm Springs, ran
How
some
crazy!
restaurants.
So you went from New York area all the way. Where'd you get the connection from New York to California?
So when I was finished college, family business didn't work out very well. Me and my dad.
Oh, you butted heads a little bit.
Yeah. So it was. I had to make a break. I had a friend that worked in Redlands, not Redlands, Lake. Holy cow! No, Running Springs, California. It's up in the mountains, right? Big Bear area.
Yep.
I needed a job. So he said, "Well, I can get you a job." And I go, "Well, what am I going to do? Are you working on it?" And he goes, "Well, you could be a driver." All right, whatever. So I went out, and that's how it started.
Get you out of the east, get you into the nice.
Started doing things that I really wasn't planning on doing, and I did that for a while, and then moved to Palm Springs, and I took over as kitchen manager of Hamburger Hamlet. And from there, that was the rest. I just stayed in the restaurant business.
out here. I think you were originally down by the bridge, right?
Our first gig
Yeah.
was Jersey's.
Yeah.
I said, fine. I said, well, I always wanted a restaurant. You know, I had this whole idea of a restaurant. We started looking for restaurants, and brokers are just like car salesmen. They're like, oh, we got these, and we kept going all these dumps. They're like, you know, and finally I looked at the guy, I wanted to get rid of him. Because Teresa's like, no. And I said, look, buy me a car wash, and I'll buy it. Well, boy, was I dumb. Because he goes, as a matter of fact, you know, I got just the place. Let's go look at it. We pull up, and there's this car wash. It was in San Pedro, and San Pedro has its ups and downs. Beautiful city, community, has a lot of bad elements there that have nothing to do with the Pedros, but there's a lot of bad elements. And we roll up, and I'm like, holy shit. This is like, sits on 1 square acre. It's huge. I'm like, okay.
It was open, it was running already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was built, and they were trying to sell it. They found a sucker, you know, and so I convinced my dad and another person to partner with me, and we took it, and you know, it did quite well. We lived quite well. Teresa was still designing and stuff. My food passion was still food. Sundays at my house, Teresa and I would cook for our friends. And then my good friend Jim, he had an opportunity to purchase a friend of ours bar in York, Pennsylvania. And it was called Mac Daddy's, or I don't even remember the name of it, but anyway. So he approached me, and I said, look, I'll think about it.
You want to run it or partner with him or something?
Partner it. But I was like, I don't want to move to Pennsylvania, and I promised Teresa we'd never get, you know, I wouldn't be in the bar business. Thank God his stepfather declined to be an investor, and because without him, I couldn't do it. And so we had come out here. I was looking for a second home. We had come out here with friends, fell in love with the place, got the lake, got the heat of the desert. Teresa gets the water, I get the desert. And
You a side-by-side guy? You like going out like that?
no, we did. So, you know, listen, everybody that lives here
something
used to like doing that, you know? You know, I used to like going on my boat every day.
Yeah.
But he was going through a funk. We didn't buy it. It ended up being a gold mine. He wanted out. I said, look, we have a house here in Lake Havasu. Why don't you come out here? You know, you get a job as a teacher, because he was a teacher. I said, look for locations. Maybe we'll open a place out here. Because I really didn't understand Havasu. I just figured it's Havasu, man. It's a party. And he did. And he looked hard, and he found some places. And we came out here on the weekends and looked at them. And yeah, none of them were going to ever happen. But the one place that we found was Jersey's underneath the bridge. Where Jersey's was underneath the bridge, and then even the existing pub was going to be this waterfront property. It was going to be a marina.
Oh, okay.
So they were preparing us to go away. There was no improvements being made. There was no lights at night. So we made all our money, if we made money, was during the day.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't want to walk down there at night.
Right.
And
did they have the phone booth there at that time?
the phone booth was always there.
Okay,
So where we were, so it was us, and then we had a guy by the name of Jimmy Maniaci. He had the shaved ice stand.
Okay.
And then I can't remember Bill's last name, but he had the popcorn wagon.
Yeah.
The guy would
Okay.
sit in a popcorn wagon all day long. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Certainly when it gets hot, man, you don't got no AC in that sucker, not even a swamp cooler.
I don't remember what he had, but we ended up having fun down there. We tried, but
Yeah.
it just dollar for dollar, it just buried us.
And you talked about that the other day, like you need more than just one anchor. You need businesses that may be competitive, sort of, they actually draw people to the area.
You had the resort to the left of us, right?
Right.
And originally the resort was resort owned the whole thing.
Yeah.
There was some thing going on where they got duped out of it.
Oh, okay.
And the new owners took it over, and they became enemies.
Oh, dude.
And so we didn't get the support of the resort either, so which would have really helped us. But they understand, you know, the resort has their own restaurants, and they support their own tenants.
Right.
So as soon as you cross that bridge, you're in no man's land.
Yeah.
And we tried, but
Yeah.
you know, it was a good experience.
Yeah. What was in your new place on McCulloch before you? Was it a restaurant? Or
So it was owned by a family. It was called La Fiesta Pools, and then they opened up a place called Peter Paradise.
Peter Paradise?
No, not Peter.
Oh.
Pita.
Pita Paradise. Oh, like Greek food? Greece?
Kind of.
Oh, okay.
So it was all
Gyros?
Peter. No, it was Peter wraps. You know.
Oh, interesting. Okay, Mediterranean.
Kind of. I mean, but you get a tuna fish sandwich and a pita.
Oh, so
you
just
get
pita.
Pita was the bread.
Pita's the thing.
It was owned by a family. My landlord is now. That was
Who was the owner? Oh, okay.
Her husband and she opened it.
Yeah.
And we needed to move, and we chose that location.
Yeah.
But you know, and it's
What year was that? How long ago has it been since
we decided so 2012.
Oh, okay. So, wow, so it's been 10 years, over 10 years. That's
First 2 years were brutal.
First two and every other year.
Well, I was diagnosed. No, I was 2012.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so
Oh my God.
so it was kind of weird. And, I should have shut the restaurant down while I was doing it.
But you're like,
Well, we'll keep it open, but so
Yeah.
I did. I went through my year of cancer and my treatments,
gosh.
and so it was interesting because the restaurant ran itself, but
Yeah.
you know it's make or break. When you first open, you gotta
Oh yeah.
impress or whatever.
Yeah.
And we didn't do it.
Sometimes you only get one shot.
And that was our shot. And I ended up coming down with cancer. Coming down with it, I caught it.
You got it.
And you know, instead of closing the restaurant, we kept it open. We allowed people to come up with their assumptions and their negative reviews because there was no one here to run it. We took it in the pants for about 2 years, and I should have closed it, but that's how I ended up here.
Yeah.
You know, and then we moved here permanently in 2010.
One risk taker at a time.
Sure.
You know, it was like one would go in and fail, and another risk taker would go in and stay, and then that would encourage another. And the only reason why there's almost nothing to lease down there now is because the people like you, honestly, took the risk. And unfortunately, you know, being a city, you need their help too. You know, because like you're saying, like anything from the street lights to the parking, all the things, all the problems that go on to where the city money goes in tourism, like where is it funneling to? Is it going down to the lakeside properties and activities to bring in the Californians? Or is it going in towards the downtown to create a local culture? Like that's where it starts becoming like you can only do so much as an individual operator. So it's kind of a tough thing. But like if you were to see a perfect world for Jersey's in the downtown, what would it look like to you? Like because you have to because it's easy to look at like all the things that are wrong, but it's hard to like imagine it all going right. And if you imagine that, what would it look like?
So this could hurt me, and it might help you. So a long time ago, we were part of this 2020, this Vision 2020. And Havasu won, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, we didn't win. We came in second.
But you guys got a cash bonus
got
out
a lot
of
of
it.
money.
Yeah.
And at the
I
time,
remember. Frontier did it or Verizon?
one of the companies.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I think it was Frontier.
But at the time, we had Mark Nexon as our mayor and Charlie Castle as our city manager. Charlie, great city manager. And he shared the vision that we had. We had meetings all the time.
Which is how you won the second place.
It was. I think it was collaborative. I mean, it was the town itself. I mean, everyone came together and did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
We had this great sense of community.
That was all about downtown revitalization.
I mean, we went to all the town hall meetings, and it was awesome. I mean, to see these people just do these ideas.
Yeah.
And like the Nomad is actually
Nomadic,
or Nomadic was part of that plan. Like my wife originally worked on the original designs.
Oh, cool.
Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition. They went with someone else, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But it serves its purpose. But we, our plan was to Rick Murphy.
Yeah.
Right, radio station, biggest mouth in town in a positive way.
Yeah.
He always pictured the downtown as this walk street, a promenade. I'm not against that, but
Like closed down to traffic. Oh, okay.
And he's always shared
It's a hard sell.
pictures.
Yeah.
It was, but even then, even without the promenade, we could still turn it into a walkable street. Right?
Yeah.
Make it more appealing to people.
Yeah.
And Charlie got involved, and we had these things, and that's when we. This is actually we already built our front patio. We're supposed to be 12 feet deep.
Yeah, I remember you said it was bigger.
Yeah, well, something happened, and the city came and pulled it back.
Damn it.
But then we started talking again, and then we're going to do bump outs.
Yeah, because you just need that easement for, I think, 5 feet to disable.
Well, we were planning, but we were going to go. We gave up on that because then we were going to do bump outs on the street. So across the street we had Bad Dogs, which is now Legends.
Right.
We had Fuzz, which is now Best Foods.
Yeah. Okay.
You have the Red Onion, and we did bump outs. So if you walk down Huntington Beach,
Yeah.
or you go to any of these cities, especially after COVID, you have these dining rooms that are on the street.
Yeah.
And they're all for it.
Yeah.
And
Grand Junction, Colorado is a good example of that downtown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, in the summertime it's a little hard, but at nighttime you might get away with it. But somehow it just went a ways.
Yeah.
And Charlie resigned or moved on.
Yeah.
Mark turned out.
So when they got that money, did they have to use it like towards
As far
the
as I
downtown,
know.
or did it go maybe into a
Well, no, there's the downtown
like a general
catalyst.
fund thing? Yeah.
I don't want to say I know everything, but I'm pretty sure the Catalyst Park. So we did purchase the Springburg and Andrew Park,
Oh, okay.
and they are working on this Catalyst Park now.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Catalyst
Park. It's and I think Elmatic was part of it. I'm
So they kind of put it to use a little bit everywhere, but they didn't execute on the plan that they had kind of devised.
Main Street downtown needs to be seen as a downtown.
Yeah.
It's the heart of Havasu. We have a lake and we have a bridge.
Right.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I moved here for a lake. I wanted the desert. My wife wanted the water.
Yeah.
I got both.
Well, you remember, like, because you're from like New England area, like
Future.
we have.
Don't even say
New
New England.
England is a little tough, but like where I'm from, right, Portland, Maine, we have the ocean. Theoretically, you could just build everything right on that waterfront view and then be done with it. But you know what they do is they build back. They build back. It's really unique.
I don't believe in blends. So there are a lot of places in town that they do short ribs and all that. Right. Any of that stuff. I mean, a meat is meat. A good grab chuck is good grab chuck.
Yeah.
And their burgers are good too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We opened the restaurant because we love feeding people, right? So, we've had the opportunity to have some pretty talented people come through on restaurant experience or kitchen experience. And we've been able to create some dishes that just are unique even though they're not, like our jalapeno poppers. And everybody has a jalapeno popper. I mean, you see them all over Instagram. You see them everywhere. Everyone puts a twist on it. Well, no one makes them the way we do. And I'm sure there's other places that say no one makes them the way. Everyone makes them the way everyone else does. Yes, we have cream cheese in ours, but we need it with all the other things we put into it. The fact that we smoke our popper when they're ready to go. And then, yes, we do deep fry them to serve them so the bacon gets crispy. But I think, we're supposed to be a burger joint, right? That's what we opened up as in the beginning. We came up here, we needed dinner because most people were just, they want to have dinner. So we dabbled in all these different things, and we make a great steak. We make my mom's meatloaf, stuff like that. But
The Georgette.
the Georgette, we did that because of Georgette next door. She's a health freak, and she wanted burned vegetables and chicken breasts. So I couldn't burn them for everybody, but we added it. I think we lost focus because we really are, but no one makes a cheesesteak like we will. I'm pretty sure that our burgers would compete with anybody's burger, not beat them. Our salads are not unique, but they're fresh. My chopped Cobb salad, which people have been saying, they're like, "Whoa, it's so small." Well, it's a chop. Cobb. You're supposed to have a bite of everything. When you bite into it, you get the egg, the chicken, the bacon, the avocado, blue cheese, whatever, everything. It's in one bite, and that's what made chopped salad so popular.
Yeah.
I grew up going to a steakhouse. I always get the steakhouse chop.
Yeah.
All it was Italian dressing, right? Chopped up, put a little meat in there, a little bit of cheese.
Yeah.
Every bite. I'm getting hungry thinking about it. But, you know, I don't know. We make, I'd say 90% of our food from scratch, which hurts us. You know, I've tried different meats from the Phillies, and I listen to people talk about other places, and you know, ours just works. We slice our own, and it worked for us.
Yeah.
So my dad's business that grew and kept growing without because they offered what no one else could. But the difference was back then was because there was all social media, word of mouth really valued. I mean, the problem now is with social media, and I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy here, but there are more people, and it's been that way forever. There's more people that will share the negative than the positive, and that's why I hate Yelp. That's why I hate reviews. I think that there's no. We all deserve a bad review when we do something bad, but you know, they're their algorithms and all this other stuff. But, you know, there's people that'll write a bad review about legends, and they've never even been in there.
Yeah.
But how is that valid? How can someone like Yelp or Google allow that to happen, and without having proof? I think that if you have to physically, and they would have to spend some money like Facebook did, but you have to physically be in that restaurant. Now, and you have 24 hours from the time that you spent more than 1 second in there to write your review. And if you don't, tough shit.
Yeah.
And I've been preaching that since, you know, I fired a manager at the car wash, and all of a sudden we used to get reviews every once in a while. Now we're getting like 7 or 8 reviews a day, and they're all 1-star negative.
Whoa.
You know, and I called them. I'm like, hey guys, you don't think anything wrong with this? Oh no, our algorithm's perfect. I'm like, okay. Hey, you suck, and we float along the way. But that's, you know, we try so hard as local businesses, even here, to make sure that everyone's experience is worth sharing, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes negative experience or negative sharing is good because it's growth.
Right.
And it helps me.
Right.
A lot of people, they want to complain about it, but they don't want to
The
say
old
why.
adage. The old adage of any press is good press.
Yeah, but for me, it's a learning experience. You know, if I have someone sends back the burger because they didn't like it, and you know the server's not asking them why, or they do ask why, and they just say, I just didn't like it. What do they learn from that? You know, I want to know. I mean, I'm a pretty critical guy.
Yeah.
And I really think about why I didn't like it. I'm like, what is it missing? There was a flavor profile, or the meat tastes rancid, or something. At least let us know. You know, before, you know, the established tobacco customer said it's raw. Well, you know, that's the problem with the server, because now the server doesn't understand temperatures, right? So they need to explain it to people. Unfortunately, in different states or different parts of the region or the country, medium rare is not medium rare. So in Lake Havasu, medium rare is medium.
Oh, they don't like a cool red center?
Yeah.
Aha. Yeah.
And even medium is pushing it.
Okay.
And then midwell's more medium for them. Well, and then well done is midwell and everything else. And that creates a lot of problems, but then some people get offended by it.
Right.
Of course, I don't like temperature, I like mine.
Right.
But that's not true.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't turn it. If you overcook it, there's no turning
Can't
back.
fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always better to serve it a
But
little
you really
less.
can't. So if we undercook it,
You're not supposed to.
Well, we don't. I mean, how do you?
I know you can't. You can't.
You know,
Back in the day, they used to do that quite a bit. They would just cook it up to temp.
No, throw it in the microwave.
Or microwave it, yeah, you know. But like with all the cross-contamination issues, you really can't, you're not supposed to do it, I don't think, to help. But what a food waste, and it costs, you know, the cost of
And
that,
we eat it.
you lose the whole
know?
thing.
And that's the other thing with service and everything else. You know, there's a lot of people that come in, they order something. You know, buy buffalo, for example. Buffalo is typically slightly spicier than your norm.
Right.
Don't order a dish if you don't like spice.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Havasu.
Yeah.
Okay? There are a lot of good things about Havasu. if I were going to open a restaurant in Havasu again, when I open it on this street, yeah,
Well, where's the best place that you think?
and in the waterfront.
Yeah, just because of the people.
You know, there's other places that are doing well. You know, I don't want to do plugs here, but you know, there's a restaurant in Kiowa. Well, only game in town, right? You know, and he caters to a particular kind of person, and it works for him.
Yeah.
I don't know what his sales are. I don't know how busy he is, but I hear he's busy. Look, if you can get other business owners, other community, you know, people in the community to jump on board with what you're doing, and to not make it about themselves, right?
That's exactly the goal, is to make it about us,
Our
together.
town, how we survive, what can we do to partner with our fellow competition. Competition builds better business.
We don't need scars just to know we're human. We can let the world just tell us so. Light and